Hello and welcome to Where the Living Room Used to Be, a podcast about Rhode Island's music scene. What is or was your favorite Rhode Island record store and why?
I think Analog Underground is my favorite. It's kind of just like the one that I go to.
Yeah?
Pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it has like an eclectic selection and that the vibe is pretty chill and like non-judgmental. I've liked everybody who's worked there. Mm-hmm. I secretly worked there briefly.
What do you mean secretly worked there?
Well, I worked cleaning records in the back of the shop, so nobody ever saw me working there.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it was sort of secret. But it was short-lived, and then the pandemic came. Yeah. And then the store was just like closed for a while, and so I basically got laid off.
Oh, okay.
But it was fun cleaning records.
Yeah. Is it meditative in a sense, or?
Yeah, I like those small, repetitive,
like tactile things.
But that's like a skill you have to learn. Like, get really good at this one very specific skill. Yeah. I think I kind of enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
And you can just like listen to a podcast or music. Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing about the shop is just like I've had a lot of sort of romantic experiences of walking into the shop and there's like amazing music playing and I'm like, what's this music? And then
that's cool.
Buy the record.
Yeah.
And so that's just sort of my experience.
Yeah. What are you usually looking for when you go shopping there?
You know, last time I went there, I tried looking for something specific and it didn't work. I'm not.
Okay.
Usually I just sort of go in and like hope to be inspired either by something that's playing or like something I find and I'm curious about.
Yeah.
So I really like when like old records do this a lot where they'll write a lot about the record on the back.
Oh, yeah.
The back cover will just have like a long description.
Like a bio or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I love those. And then the people at Analog will write on like a little Post-it note and a little description. Like sometimes just like a 3-word description.
Okay. Is it for fans of type thing? Like if you're into.
Yeah. I don't know. Just have kind of a what's the word? Where it's like mysterious, cryptic kind of description.
Okay.
Yeah. I wonder if I feel like all the records are organized in a way where like the side that they would put it on is not what we could see. It'd be fun if I just like had one. I probably have like a quarter of my records are from Analog, but
that's cool.
I don't know. Yeah, they'll write a little message and pique my interest.
Yeah, nice. What is your favorite drink that's tied to the state?
I don't have a great answer to this, but it's more kind of my personal experience is drinking a cappuccino, a vegan cappuccino with like oat milk or almond milk.
Yeah.
From a ceramic mug, and there's like a little spoon. Yeah. In a coffee shop. That's what I think of. If I think of like my favorite thing to drink in Rhode Island that's like not in my house.
What shops do you usually go to? Is there
I go to a lot. I don't have a specific coffee shop. I like going to a different one. Yeah. Every time. I mean, maybe I have like 8 that I'll go to. Yeah. Okay. And sort of cycle through, but the specific scene with the little spoon comes from 7 Stars.
Okay.
I wouldn't say 7 Stars is my favorite though.
But yeah, I
feel like they're sort of anti-vegan a bit.
Are they?
I mean, they don't have any baked goods other than bread that are vegan. Like none of the sweets are vegan. I think that's absurd. Yeah. Like, I feel like they have to go out of their, at this point, being 2023.
You go to, like, Wildflower, and they have amazing stuff. And
it's not like it's, like, hard to do.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, there's no recipes for this stuff.
Right, how can we possibly...
it's impossible to do this. It's like, well, Wildflower has a whole bakery case of it.
I was just like, most coffee shops will at least have, like, a vegan thing. Yeah. They'll have, like... the one vegan, it might not be very good, but they'll have like the one vegan cookie or the vegan donut or whatever, but they just don't have any of it. Oh, wow, okay. So whatever. I mean, they do have vegan milk at least, but Dunkin' Donuts has vegan milk. It's not like, wow, congratulations. But they make a good cappuccino. It's very dependent on the barista that you get to, I think, anywhere. Yeah. But I like having that little moment, and I don't have a way to steam milk at home, so it feels sort of special to thing to get. Yeah,
I dig it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's all I'll say. And for whatever reason, I didn't really get into drinking coffee until I moved to Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's related or to being in Rhode Island, or if it's just that's where my life went.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of coffee shops. I mean, as you just said, there's like 8, and they're all, like pretty on point with stuff. So I'm sure that there's a lot, and obviously not like other cities, but just like,
Yeah, I guess when I lived in Boston.
There's like a diversity of it too, like what you're going to get at White Electric is going to be different than at,
Now that you mention it, I'm really saying that I think that there are, I don't remember there being that many in other cities that I lived in, that many good coffee shops that I enjoy going to.
Yeah, so or they just get like stomped down by Starbucks or whatever.
Yeah, right. Luckily, we don't have a lot of Starbucks here.
Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, like coffee exchanges, existed forever. I don't even know how long that coffee shop goes back. But it's just cool, so. What is your favorite place in Rhode Island? Like geographic location that you kind of
I would say hang out at? Rocky Point Park.
Oh, cool.
I think is my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know, it has a lot of history there.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting. And even just in the time that I've been going there, which has only been a few years, I guess, when I first started going, there was like a lot of abandoned buildings there from the amusement park.
Yep.
But it was like fenced off, and you could walk around the perimeter of it basically, and like walk along the water, but you couldn't like go to the buildings.
Yeah.
And then there was then they knocked the buildings down, and then eventually where the buildings were, they just like turn into these like rolling hills and like fields. And I thought that I would have hated it because I love abandoned buildings. I think they're like really cool. And I love seeing the decay of it and the plants like taking over, and thinking about like, oh, what was it like when it was open? And, but I think I don't know. It's also just like beautiful and cool what they did. I actually, I like what they did with it.
Yeah.
And there's little plaques that have some of the history, and there's some remnants still, like the big arch and the gondola thing. And there's still a lot of woods too. And there's like sandy beach. It has everything.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I hear from friends of mine who are a bit older and who grew up in Rhode Island, they'll be like, oh, I saw that band play at Rocky Point Park like 20 years ago. And I think that's cool to hear about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very special place in Rhode Island history and like the hearts of Rhode Islanders. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's it's free, you park for free.
Yeah.
Go there for free. There's tons of space. It's beautiful there. Yeah. I think it's pretty special.
That's awesome.
And it's not too far from Providence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is cool. If you live in Providence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you live in Warwick, then it's even closer.
Right. That's true.
But yeah. No, that's cool. What is your favorite Rhode Island pizza? As a vegan.
Right. A lot of places have vegan pizza now, which is cool. Yeah. I like Caserta a lot, actually. They don't have intentionally vegan stuff, but their plain pizza doesn't have cheese on it by default, so it is vegan.
Yep.
So I like to get that with mushrooms. They have really thickly sliced mushrooms, which I appreciate. Some places you get mushrooms on the pizza, and it's like paper. Like they're all like they just and it's like, what was the point?
Yeah.
But this is like you can feel the mushroom. Yeah. So I like that, and I like this just like a sort of no nonsense environment.
Yeah.
And then I like Nice Slice. Mm-hmm. I think Nice Slice has very good vegan cheese, and they have vegan slices, so you don't have to get a whole pizza. And you can. This is a pro tip. Is that you can have them add stuff to it, to the slices.
Okay.
Yeah, so last time I went there, I got the vegan margarita and added vegan sausage to it. And then they heat it up, and like it's great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
There
you go.
Those are my two, probably.
Nice. And yeah, last one. What is your favorite event that takes place in the state?
Supposed to be takes place regularly or has ever taken place?
It can be historical, just something that has happened, or it doesn't need to be an annual event, or it doesn't need to be a music event. It could be really anything.
Yeah, I think I'll talk about two. There's one I went to a few years ago that was called She Died for Our Convenience. It was so cool. It was definitely like sticks out in my memory. So it was it took place outside in amongst abandoned mills.
Okay.
Near Olneyville Square on Manhattan, where Building 16 used to be.
Yeah, all right.
Like in that complex.
Yep.
And it was like about the history of women who worked in those mills. Mm-hmm. And so it's sort of like a performance art thing, but then there was like a huge chorus. And the chorus, like, they like came out from the shadows and like moved through the crowd. And there was like a ton of people it was really like incredible.
Wow.
And just like never saw anything like that. Whereas like, it's a music thing, and it's kind of experimental, historical, performance art, spoken word.
Was it Assembly of Light Choir, or was it a different choir?
Was it what?
Was it Assembly of Light?
I thought that it was, and then I tried to look this up, and I couldn't find their name associated with it at all. So maybe I just like assumed that at the time or something.
That's cool though.
So I don't know if there was a name to it, but it was like a lot of people, and they were dressed. They wore costumes, kind of dressed up like these factory workers.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Nice.
So I'll say that. And then I saw Angel Olsen, who's not a local person, but she's like sort of famous now. Mm-hmm. But I think she was still kind of underground at the time.
Okay.
And I saw her at 186 Carpenter Street, which is like a very small venue and art gallery and like community space that existed in Federal Hill.
Oh, okay.
On Carpenter Street, as you might imagine. And Angel Olsen did a set, just acoustic guitar and vocals, and she's an incredible singer. Mm-hmm. And like, it was very intimate and heartfelt, and it's like I felt a lot seeing that. And it's interesting how like I think there's certain bands that get kind of low-key famous in Providence. Like, they're famous in Providence. They played, like, lots of shows, and people talk about them a lot. They're, like, really popular and might have a big draw and stuff. But like sometimes there's these like unexpected shows that happen, and maybe you don't realize this person is a big deal or going to be a big deal, or and they're just playing to like 20 people.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's good to just like go to shows. Like don't necessarily go to the ones where like it's, I don't know, just like try different things. Go to things even if you don't know who's playing.
Yeah.
And just like see what happens, because I think there's a lot of hidden gems. And like sometimes there's some people who are really great artists and they don't play out a lot, so people don't know who they are. So just because somebody's popular doesn't necessarily mean that they're like gonna be a better performance.
Yeah.
Than somebody unknown.
Yeah.
I don't think Angel Olsen was unknown at the time, but it just makes me think about who's out there, and sometimes it's just like those small shows.
And they can find out about them. At rishows.com.
Oh, right.
Right.
Good plug.
Yeah, there we go. Throwing a plug for you right there. So go to rishows.com.
Yes.
Pick a show.
Just pick a random show.
Yeah.
Just try it.
Because if Kay is putting it up there, it's going to be something that's interesting.
I can't promise that.
No, yeah, I guess I can't do that either. But I would say
I can't
from the outside view, like the stuff that I've seen come through, it has been interesting shows. That it's not, and it's similar to what you're saying. I mean, I feel like I've, from doing this podcast, I've had my like ear to the track and know a lot of bands. But yeah, RI shows will have some stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't know who that is, and I'll go check it out. And I agree with you. Of just go and experience something.
Yeah.
It's even just cool that these moments that can happen, however many years ago, can stick with you just because of like that natural thing that just kind of happens, versus be like, oh, I'm going to go see that same band that's kind of know what to expect, know who's going to be there, whatever else.
I don't think I knew who she was, and it wasn't a big show.
Yeah.
It was probably like 20 people there.
That's cool.
And just like she's sitting down, everybody's sitting, and it's just very chill and intimate and like sad and great and beautiful. Yeah.
Well, this is awesome, Kay. Thank you for sharing all of these stories and some tips. Got some pro tips here, so that's perfect. That's what we're looking for. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.